Alright, so I'm watching The Curse of Fenric, objectively the best of the classic era. I'm doing it because John Smith, 8906, has suggested that I look into how Ace's mother has a SuperTed toy in her crib in the 1940s. And I dutifully said, I'm on it. By the way, if you have any, things that need explaining in Doctor Who, the more obscure the better. I don't care about unit dating controversies. I want to tackle shit that no one tackles. And this is perfect. So, SuperTed came out around Ace's time in the 1980s. Before watching this, I was like, okay, cool. So Ace probably just deposited a SuperTed toy and it was picked up by the mother and given to the child. And this could happen because Ace, I believe, went to sleep. So, we have had a night over here. So, Ace could have left it in the bunk bed. So, technically, Ace could have delivered a SuperTed toy and it just got picked up by the mum. That seems like the most obvious explanation. So the theory that Ace just drops a cuddly toy that is super important to her in this story in particular, why this story in particular, I think the answer is basically she may be carrying about this toy as a sort of comfort thing all the time, but this is the only story I can think of where she actually has a sleep. So she'd bring it out then, which is why she'd be most likely to drop it then. And I was looking at this toy and I'm just okay, well that's barely a SuperTed toy. That's just a red suit. But then I saw the yellow feet and I'm okay, well, SuperTed has yellow feet. It doesn't even have a cape. But, it's all accurate, apart from the fact that it doesn't have this big yellow and white sort of emblem emblazoned on its front. Meaning this isn't only a SuperTed toy, this is a corruption of what a SuperTed toy should be, This isn't right. This is presumably some messed up idea of what a SuperTed toy is. So, what have we got to work with? Is this part of Fenric's design, introducing SuperTed early on, but a kind of corruption? You know what it could be? What if this toy was created by someone this is sort of an early design, This is inspired the actual SuperTed. This is the origins of SuperTed. Whoever designed this presumably was because this is not SuperTed. You can't tell me that this is SuperTed while the chest does not have the thing emblazoned on it. The face is all wrong. There's no cape. This is not SuperTed. What John Smith, is it 8906, whatever. What John Smith is seeing here is an early prototype, and not for SuperTed, because SuperTed hadn't been invented yet, but maybe these were mass produced. It looks kind of mass produced. What if this toy was made and just distributed widely enough that the person who was responsible for SuperTed grew up with this toy and was I'm going to base this superhero on my childhood toy, but I'm going to give it a bit more riz by giving it something on its chest. There we go. So, folks, if you want any other questions answered about Doctor Who, any weird details like this, come to me and I shall answer your queries. There you go, John Smith. I hope you're very happy with this explanation. I was gonna be honest, I was hoping it would be something like, because, Arel is a corrupted Dalek idea of what a second is, a sick, mutated version of what a second is. So I was really hoping that the SuperTed toy would just be like a corrupted, mutated version of what SuperTed is, and Daleks placed it there. But I think there's just a simple, easy explanation. This is not SuperTed. This is SuperTed's progenitor, of sorts. Anyway, there you go. Hope you're happy, John Smith. Alright, so SuperTed solved. Apart from that's not fun, is it? Sure, this could be the inspiration. It works, and if you want to make sense of stuff, then, this sure does make sense. The problem is, the explanation is rubbish, isn't it? It's not got that risible factor, It's not risen me up. So, let's try again. Just like how Ace got taken up in the Time Winds, or whatever it was. And that was Fenric. So this toy of SuperTed, a toy that Ace did have as a child. She presumably liked SuperTed? I don't know. Presumably, I think we can conclude that because this is part of Fenric's trap, all threads leading to this. Is it, what's it meant to be? Is Fenric laying a trap, or is he just converging the lines of coincidence? I don't know, whatever it is, but this is part of it. SuperTed, a toy from Ace's present, got whirled up in a time wind and deposited onto this baby. Maybe the mother hasn't even seen this toy before. I presume she has. Maybe it got delivered, the mother found it somehow. But yeah, this is all part of Fenric's diabolical plot. So, yeah. Happy. I'm a lot more satisfied with that, that gets my juices going. This is all part of Fenric's fiendish evil plot. Who cares if this originated SuperTed? I think there's a good chance that this toy may have found its way into inspiring SuperTed, these aren't mutually exclusive explanations. But yeah, this is all part of Fenric's plan. The Doctor would have noticed this immediately and clocked this is probably how the Doctor realises that Fenric's at work here. This was the Doctor's first sign that, we're dealing with Fenric now. A SuperTed toy in the 1940s? Come now, Fenric. I'm not a fool. There we go. I am more rizzed up now. See, if you come to me with questions, I won't just answer them. I will answer them well. I hope you're fully satisfied, John Smith. Let me know if there's any other ways I can satisfy you. Alright, bye. So yeah, just to be clear, I've come up with 3 explanations for this. There is Ace just had her mum's SuperTed toy chilling, just in her possessions. left it here, you know. She kept the Mum SuperTed toy because presumably it got passed down to Ace, and it became like a treasured like thing that Ace had probably from birth, and carried around with her always, and just dropped it here. Or this is the origins of SuperTed. It's the inspiration for the SuperTed design. Or it's Fenric with his time wind powers being evil, and the fact that it's not even a good like SuperTed toy, I just think speaks to how evil Fenric is. I want to know what you think, though. Which of the three explanations is the best? Which is the one that fully satisfies you?